This is Francis. I'm Chairman and CEO of FI Investment Group and your host of Washington Current Review, where we interview leading voices from business and politics that impact you, the viewer. Today, our guest is Atif Qarni. Atif is running for House of Delegates in the state of Virginia. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you very much for coming over here.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me about yourself and why you're running it.
My background is I'm a teacher. I teach 8th grade mathematics in Princeton.
Where?
At Woodbridge. It's a Bevel Middle School. It's located in Dale City.
Okay.
In Woodbridge. It's part
Okay,
of
so
Princeton.
you're a teacher.
I am a teacher.
What do you teach?
8th grade mathematics.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
So you're into STEM education?
Yes, definitely. I'm big on mathematics and science, and really focusing on innovative ideas.
Sure.
And big on technology. So that's my background. Prior to that, I was also in the United States Marines for 8 years. I was actually.
So you serve our country.
I did, yes.
Well,
yes.
thank you very much for your service.
Thank you. Thank you very much. In addition to that, my wife and I live in Manassas. We have been in Manassas for 9 years now. We have 2 boys, Zane and Saber, and we love living in Manassas. They're a handful and they're wonderful.
And you graduated from George Washington University?
That is right. My undergraduate studies is from George Washington University.
And what about your graduate?
And graduate studies is from George Mason University.
Oh, okay,
yes.
Great. Good 2 schools. Very good.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So why did you decide to run? And what do you think you bring to the table that your opponents don't have it?
Okay. The reason I got involved in this particular election was where I live, my part of the district.
So you're going to be representing Manassas?
I'm going to be representing Manassas.
And what district is that?
It's the House District 13.
13.
Yes, it covers Manassas Park, but it also covers Gainesville and Haymarket.
Okay.
So it's a pretty wide district. The biggest issue at hand in our district is transportation.
Transportation.
Yes.
Traffic congestion?
Traffic congestion.
So what exactly would you do?
The traffic congestion with the transportation bill that was recently passed, was a bipartisan bill that was recently passed, is going to generate a lot of funds, and I want to work on things like mass transit and also on satellite locations in my district, which will really help relieve congestion. I'm a better choice for my district compared to my opponent because he is really focused on social divisive issues and has neglected. He voted against the transportation bill. So I am for transportation, and also I got involved in this race because of education reasons.
So you are a teacher.
I am a teacher.
So what do you think you bring to the table in terms of education? I'm going to talk about the K through 12 educations,
yes.
pre-K educations, as well as the higher educations. Right. What would you bring to the table? What would you do different?
Okay, well, in addition to teaching 8th grade mathematics, I actually also teach GED classes in the evening at Manassas Park High School, which is adult-based education classes for folks who are did not get their high school diploma and are seeking their high school diploma.
And what's the dropout rate? 47%?
The high school dropout rate, I don't know specifically for Virginia, but for my district, it's about 17%.
Oh, so it's not that high compared to the national level.
It is.
It's still high.
It's still high. It's. I think the national level may be in the 20s, 25%.
What would you do to make sure that the people don't drop out of the school?
Right. We need to prioritize education.
Okay.
In Virginia, education used to be a high priority. I can tell you as a teacher, it is not right now. If you look at the statewide budget, it's not a high priority as it used to be. We need to prioritize education. We need to invest in K through 12 education in our kids. But we also
what about pre-K education?
As well as pre-K education. For example, my opponent in a House budget bill in 2010, he voted for a bill which did not pass, fortunately, which would have cut $620 million from K through 12 education, but it would have also would have cut funding from early childhood development as well. So I'm a firm believer that we're lifetime learners. I want to invest in early childhood development, in K through 12 education.
So the lifetime learner outside the classroom, inside the classroom?
Every single minute of the day.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Explain to me the STEM education, and that's a very important to our country. What would you do to promote that?
I want to promote STEM education. We really want to focus on our math and sciences. There are a lot of folks, there are a lot of different groups within our society where STEM education, we need to reach out to different communities. We need to involve everyone. Within the African American community and the Latino American community, we need to provide more resources, and we need to recruit more mathematicians and scientists who can work for different federal agencies but also for private sectors. So we need to make sure that everybody's getting their fair share. And on the state level, I want to make sure that throughout all the school divisions are getting their fair share, and kids from all backgrounds, all socioeconomic backgrounds are getting their fair share and providing the resources, so we have more creative minds entering the different math and science fields.
The question the audience will be interested to know, Atif, is how they reach you. Do you have a web page? And how's your campaign going? And if they want to make a contribution to you, how they reach out to you?
Okay. Well, our website is www.Qarni for delegate, that's spelled QARNIFOR delegate.com. That's our website. On our website, we have links to our Facebook and Twitter as well. And that's, if you are interested in contributing to our campaign, it has a contribution link on the website as well. And the follow-up, the other question was as far as the campaign is doing?
Yeah, how's the campaign is going?
Yes.
You need three things in a campaign: money, message, and mobility. So you got the message.
Yes.
Now you need the money and mobility.
Okay. We have a very strong message. My service background really resonates with voters in our district. Additionally, my opponent, who has the lowest approval rating he's ever had, so this is one of the top races, the top delegate races statewide. We are doing well in fundraising. Of course, we need to continue to do well. I outraised my opponent this election year. I've outraised him, so we're doing well. But we, of course, need to continue to do well because I am a challenger and first-time candidate. We have a very strong, vibrant ground game, ground attack. Being a teacher, you have a lot of teacher friends supporting my campaign, a lot of veterans supporting our campaign. We have endorsements from many groups like Virginia Education Association, who being a teacher, but also the Virginia Firefighters and Democracy for America, which is a big super PAC, several women's groups, and Virginia AFL-CIO, SEIU.
So you got the labor movement as well?
Yes, the labor movement as well. So we're a very vibrant campaign. We have the Democratic Party and the House Caucus behind us, who's really supporting our campaign as well.
So why did you decide to live in Manassas rather than Fairfax County, or any other county, for that matter? And do you want to be full-time politicians? Or you still want to continue to be a teacher, yet still be a member of the delegate,
right,
correct? Because it's not a full-time job.
Yes, I'm going to continue teaching for a very long time because I love teaching, and being a delegate, although it's a part-time job, I mean, it will be, I'll be fully focused on that as well. Having been in the military.
And you served in Iraq?
I served in Iraq.
And I want to talk to you a little bit about your experience with Iraq.
Okay, so it was a very great learning experience for me. It put a lot of things in perspective on what to prioritize on. It really gave me a sense of how important family is, being away from my family. My wife was actually 7.5 months pregnant when I left with her first.
Thank you very much for your service.
So it really, gave me a sense of, how important family is, and that's.
So should we get out of the war from Iraq? What's your thoughts on that? We're already getting it out, and they continue to bomb and kill innocent human beings in Baghdad and some other places in Iraq. You saw it firsthand. You were there physically.
Yes. I'm certainly not for anything that's violent, anything that could be resolved without war and conflict.
Okay. So you like the engagement. You like to engage people and trying to find a way to figure it out without going to the war.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And even like during times of conflicts and stuff, there's a lot of peaceful engagement that folks do not see that happens on the ground. And I am happy to say that I played a critical role in diffusing a lot of stressful situations in my time in Iraq, to really diffuse situations and being a bridge and helping resolve conflicts. So that's where I stand as far as that is concerned.
So you had a good experience.
Yes.
You got a great family.
Yes.
You're a teacher.
Yes.
Serve our country. So So the next step for you to become a House of Delegates to serve your county or to serve your community and to serve your state.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about what do you have that your opponent do not have it? What do you bring to the table that allow you people to go and vote for you, especially on Tuesday, November 5th? Isn't that the date you're talking about?
Yes, the election is on Tuesday, November 5th, and I highly encourage folks to statewide to come out and vote.
What about people cannot go vote? Can you tell them how to do absentee ballot, also ballot?
Yes, if you are unable to vote, Virginia State, there are different requirements. If you work a certain amount of hours in the day and with your work conflict, you cannot get out to the polls, you can do absentee ballot voting. If you have health issues or if you'll be traveling, you'll be out of state, you can do absentee ballot voting. So please don't let that be a hurdle. There are ways to vote. Please vote and vote early. The polls open at 6 a.m. and they close at 7 p.m. With traffic and congestion, I know we can be stuck at work, so please try to vote before you go to work. Or if you are unable to, please try to leave work early, because almost everywhere I know, all employers allow folks to leave early and go and vote. It's a very critical election. We have two competing views in our state. It's a battleground of two competing views. On one side, we have the Republican ticket has nominated the most extreme ticket in Virginia's history, which I firmly believe, and that's who my opponent is also. His name is Bob Marshall, who in my opinion is considered the kingpin of the Tea Party movement. And it's really critical that there is a faction, it's a small faction in our state that's critical, that's not for equal opportunity and fairness. And on the other side is the rest of us, it's the progressive-minded folks like myself, people like Terry McAuliffe, who's running a phenomenal campaign at the top of the ticket. So please come out and vote for the progressive-minded folks who want to take in Virginia in a positive direction. So it's a very critical election.
So one of the things your opponent obviously did not vote for the transportation bill.
That is correct.
Did not vote for the education, to fund the education. Mm-hmm. What about the women's rights? What's your thoughts are, and how's the opponents are doing, and what are you going to do?
Yeah, my personal belief is that when it comes to personal health matters, politics has no business in making personal choices. Personal health matters are a private matter that's between an individual and their doctor. And my opponent actually is the one who authored the personhood bill. He's a big proponent of the transvaginal ultrasound amendment. He's vilified women continuously, year after year. So that's another big contrast that we have between the two of us. And we need to take Virginia in a positive direction where everybody's treated fairly, and inequality is at paramount.
So inequality in terms of the gender, inequality in terms of the economy, inequality in terms of the pay. There's a lot of inequality.
That is true.
And obviously you firmly believe that the inequality of the gender, that's what your opponent is sort of promoting the idea. Am I correct? You don't. You believe in equality.
I believe in equality and fair share for everyone.
Right.
We all work hard. We all deserve our fair share, and my opponent, unfortunately, does not. And there's numerous years of voting record where there's been an attack on different groups. And we want to get away from that. And it's actually really bad for business as well in our district. There's a lot of folks, a lot of small businesses, a lot of businesses in general do research when they want to move to the state of Virginia, when they want to move to my district, and who the representatives are. And if there's a negative, broken relationship within the business community and the representatives, which it is currently, it's not good for our state.
Sure.
We need to go in a positive direction. So that's where we're very different. That's why I'm a better candidate, because what I've shown in this campaign is I've already developed relations with, in a bipartisan manner, from all kinds of agencies. I've reached out to the Chamber of Commerce, already built relations with them. I spoke with the Virginia Railway Express just the other day to work on innovative transportation ideas to provide congestion relief. I've reached out to all different groups, and I'm already building those relations, because if I'm fortunate enough to win in November, these are the groups that I will be working with: the Northern Virginia business community, the different transportation agencies that are really going to work with us and need to work with us to move us in a positive direction.
So let's suppose you get elected.
Yes.
What will be the first thing you will do in Richmond when you get there?
The first thing that I will do in Richmond,
right.
is the first thing I really want to focus on in Richmond is on education.
Okay.
Is looking at, and that's really tied to the Virginia tax code as well. I believe the Virginia tax code.
So you're talking about the tax code is very high in this in
the
state of
Virginia
Virginia?
tax code has a lot of loopholes.
Okay.
There's a lot of
So
corporate welfare.
Okay.
And I want to look at the tax.
You want to
code.
eliminate some of those?
So because that's where we have to be fiscally responsible.
Okay.
And if we manage our funds correctly, according to the Virginia Constitution, the budget has to be balanced at the end of every fiscal cycle.
Sure.
But there are a lot of corporate tax loopholes where we can, identify those loopholes, and so everybody's paying their fair share. And instead of, eliminating and cutting funds from high priorities like education, which is happening, we need to prioritize.
So
education.
you need to tax the rich people to pay for the.
No, but not.
What's your thoughts out on that?
I'm not saying that tax. And what I'm saying is that close the tax loopholes.
Yeah.
So folks who.
So there's a fairness to it.
Yeah, we have to have, everybody has to pay their fair share, but also, and not get away with, some of the loopholes we have in our Virginia tax code. So I really want to look at that, and I want to prioritize education. Education has to be a top priority, because we have to invest in our kids, because
because you can create the next generations of Americans.
Absolutely, yes.
So those are the things that you will do the first thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very well. What kind of reform do you think we need in the education system? If since you're a teacher, you're not very well paid, but you do a lot of service to the country and the community.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about, beside the increasing the pay grades, what else would you do to reform the education system in this country?
Yeah.
Especially in the state of Virginia.
Right. As far as, of course it'll be nice, everybody wants to get paid more, but I went into teaching, and most folks go into teaching not necessarily for the pay. They go in because they firmly believe in educating kids and adults, and they believe in education. The biggest challenge that I face as a teacher is classroom sizes.
Classroom sizes.
When I first went into teaching 5 years ago, my average classroom size was about 26 kids.
And now?
Currently, it's about 34 kids.
34 kids.
So the challenge with that is that you have limited time, and we want to ensure that we're reaching every kid as much as possible on a daily basis. And I can tell you, due to the large classroom sizes, that's the biggest hurdle I face as a teacher.
So that's the first reform you'll make?
Yes.
To reduce the size of the classroom?
Yes.
Number two, what about enhancing the education for the teachers so that they have a better understanding what to teach and how to teach and so on and so forth? What about the third aspect that I see it is the dropout rate that you talked a little bit about that. And those are the things you think that we can, and the fourth thing that we need to create is students so that they can go get a job and realize the American dream.
Yes.
I mean, that's very important.
One.
What would you do in all those areas to make sure we have public and private partnership in education as well?
Okay. Besides the classroom sizes, one of the things is that there are a lot of state mandates that hinder the ability, takes away from planning for instruction.
Okay.
And planning for instruction for teachers is the most critical element in providing a quality education. But a lot of the state mandates, and I don't want to get into the weeds of it, I can list numerous amounts.
You want to reduce it or eliminate some of them?
So some of the state mandates have to, there are folks who are making these state mandates who are not teachers, they're not in the trenches, and they don't understand what effect it has.
So that hinders their ability to do their job?
So a lot of the state mandates, it takes away time from planning good instruction. It's all about time. Teachers, if they have time, there's this perception that teachers only work from 8 to 3 and they have summers off. That's not the case. I have, half of our building is in Our staff stays till 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. I go in really early, I stay really late. Even during summer, we're doing a lot of learning, we're attending professional development classes. So it's just having more time to plan instruction.
Well, Atif, thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you very much,
And
Mike.
thank you taking the first step to get involved and engage in politics.
Thank you.
And I wish you good luck. And I hope the audience will go out and vote.
Thank you, please do.
And thank you again for coming. I appreciate it. And good luck to you.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
This is Frank Islam wishing you a great week. And thank you very much for watching.